Okay, we're here with Ulf Johansen from the EA game creators, I should say, or gaming gods. Am I right?
Gaming gods sounds good.
And today, what were you here at Game City for?
So I'm here to present Spore, which is Will Wright's latest game, the creator of Sims and SimCity. It's a new game coming out next year, which is basically about the evolution of life. It's an extremely ambitious game, and we're really happy to be able to show it to people now.
And when you say it comes out next year? When exactly next year? Is this planned for early part of the next year, or?
It's somewhere in the middle of next year. We're not quite sure now. It depends a bit on how it goes.
Okay, and where exactly? What is your position at EA?
So I'm in the international headquarters. I'm working out of our Geneva office, helping the studio show the game and market the game to the European audience.
And what other positions have you worked on in the gaming industry?
So I worked in EA for a couple of years, doing similar things for other games. Worked on Spore for about 2 years now. Worked with a studio who's based in San Francisco.
And now, being that the Christmas rush is coming soon, what can you say that you know in your mind is going to be the game for the Christmas rush?
So I'm actually handling a couple of the games for Christmas rush. So I need to talk about Hellgate London, which is going to be the coolest action RPG. It's going to be the successor of Diablo, and I think that's going to make anyone who has a kind of lust to kill demons and watch or take care of London, and just it's a wonderful game. You need to check it out.
And what is EA? What is the future of EA?
So I think we're a company on the rise when it comes. We're obviously still the biggest developer, but if you compare us to entertainment companies, we're still a small company. We want to reach out. We want to reach people who aren't the hardcore, and at the same time we have Hellgate, we have Crysis, we have FIFA, we have the really cool games for the hardcore as well.
Okay, you say you've been with EA for some years now. How do you think that EA has managed to get themselves so high into the market share?
I think it's because we deliver good games that people want to play. FIFA and Need for Speed are year on year some of the best-selling games in the world. And things like Sims, for example, the Sims and Sims 2 are games that no other developer have created. And it just keeps on, new people keep on coming to into our franchises.
You spoke about Hellgate London. Why don't you take us into it a little bit? Explain a little bit for us about Hellgate London.
So Hellgate London is a game created by one of our partner studios, Flagship Studios, which is a bunch of ex-Blizzard people. The guys who made Diablo and Diablo 2, they moved out and created a new action RPG, which is coming this November. And it's based in a futuristic London where demons have come and run over London, and only a couple of survivors have survived down in the subway, down in the underground, and are starting to fight back, either through taking over the demons' powers and starting using magic and dark magic, or by going back and start using these medieval tools like big swords and weapons and armors and so on. So it's a cool combination of the classic things in RPGs, of the magic and armors and weapons and so on, but also futuristic London setting where you have this abandoned tech, and you have fire weapons, and you have all kind of new covert action tech and so on as well.
And right now, with the game that you're working on, with Spore, it seems to... how do you classify that type of game? Spore, SimCity, these are games that I'm personally not familiar with their genre. So what do you call these types of games?
It's a hard question because that kind of games often span so many different genres. SimCity we usually call a god game where you control everything for a little city. But Spore, for example, it's a new genre. It's a game about the evolution of life.
But is that not sort of like Civilization or one of the other games where you're creating a universe?
Yeah, it's got certain aspects very similar to Civilization, but it's also much more about creativity, where you take your own little creature, which you design from scratch, and you nurture all the way through to a galactic supergod. You really kind of form an attachment to that creature, which you don't do in Civilization, for example.
And this game, and because of that, you feel that's the unique. Do you feel that that's the one unique thing that's going to be the turning point for Spore?
I think creativity and the ease and simplicity of making something really cool is probably something you haven't seen ever in a game. I think the quality of what you can produce rivals things you have seen in Pixar movies, and really high quality from probably 15-20 minutes of work only. But also the whole theme of evolution from little creature up onto kind of galactic god. It's something you haven't seen that scope in a game before.
And right now, you've worked on a lot of different genres. What are some of your favorite genres of games to work on?
I really like genres where you do something a bit different. So Spore, for example, where you really have kind of pushed the boundary, but also games like the Orange Box out of Valve, which I'm working on, which is just they're making the best game you can make on their first-person shooters and so on. They're just the gods in the eyes of everyone like me who loves to shoot people. It's working on really cool games. It's one of the pleasures in working on EA.
Your prediction for the game of the year 2007.
My prediction would be Crysis, a really, really cool first-person shooter coming out of a German studio called Crytek. I think that's going to blow everyone out of the water. It just looks fantastic and plays wonderful.
I think that would be next year.
This year.
This year.
Coming in November.
So we got a latecomer that he believes is going to take over a few of the games that have already had a pretty much a foothold on the industry. Some of the other games. Let's say, what would be your top 5 of 2007 for you?
I think I really like Mass Effect. Playing through it here today, I really enjoy what they've done with the RPG. It's just a wonderful studio, BioWare. Halo 3 is obviously gonna rock. Looking forward to it so much. Absolutely loved BioShock. It's so many good games coming out this year. I think Assassin's Creed, I'm not sure if it's going to make the year, but I'm really looking forward to that as well. I think we're having a couple of really, really cool games coming out of EA as well. Like I mentioned, Orange Box and Crysis is going to be on anyone's top 5.
And how do you feel events like Game City, the Games Convention, or any of these events, how do you feel that these events service the public?
I think they're vital to make, both for us as a publisher, to make us more get in touch with the consumers, with the guys who actually buy and enjoy and play our games, but also for people to see what they're buying before they buy it, to get a feel that publishers aren't just out there. They're actually kind of real human beings who come and interact with you. And it's just, we love being here. We love being at shows where we can meet people.
Last but not least, if you had anything to say about EA that you would really want to put out there that we haven't discussed yet, then it's your turn to say it.
That's a very good question. I really love EA Games as a publisher just because we keep on making these wild bets like the Spore, for example. Spore the game is probably something few other publishers would take up. Sims, when that was created, was a game that nobody believed in, but it turned out that it just expanded the market to people who didn't know about the games. But at the same time, we were doing this probably cutting-edge games together with partners like Crytek and Flagship, and making just the coolest game in each category.
Very nice. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Ulf Johansen from EA Games.